So this all came to be probably a couple years ago. I had came up with the name. It was kind of a side project. At the time, I was in another band with him, with Brett over here. And after a while, everything kind of fell apart with the other band. So I decided to do this full time and stole him from that band as well. And here we are. Gromulous came from just an idea I had. If you had combined an orc and a pharaoh from Egypt, and there was this fantasy setting where he was the king of the pyramids and all of this, and that's how the name came along. A word I made up.
Made up word.
Yeah.
I think it's accessible to people that love metal and maybe just rock and roll as well. There's not too much screaming.
I like to say it's just heavy rock and roll. If you like rock and roll, then check it out. It's got distorted guitars and it's got solos and singing. If you like those things together, check it out. Most of the time, I go into the studio and half of it's not even written vocally. I just know what I'm singing. I know the melody of what I'm singing, and then I'm like, I have to put words to this now.
And honestly, the words, they don't really, I don't want to say they don't make sense, a lot of them, but it's maybe not a totally, like each song isn't totally coherent and saying a specific story. I think we more go with what sounds like. We want our voices to be like instruments more than vocals.
Right.
Because we're not really vocalists. I think we just try to make it like the fourth instrument in the band. So we worry about the tones more first, and then we kind of write the words in.
I try to think more in symbolic kind of context, which is like painting pictures in your mind as opposed to necessarily like story-driven type of stuff or what it means. And so it's usually with whatever I'm like kind of reading at the time or something, and I like kind of ancient history and culture and stuff like that. I have to at least write like half a song or whole song before I know if it's something I can work with. Because only when I decide like a whole song's done, like I will come to them with a whole entire song and be like, you guys like this? And so it's not like necessarily building on riffs as much as it is. I have to have a whole piece to work with.
He doesn't come with one riff, unfortunately. It's like 3, 4 amazing riffs. When it's me and Tate, I have to sit here, sometimes it's a whole 3 hours of just going over one riff, like, okay, man, I gotta hear this over and over and over, and then I'll finally get it. But luckily, he's a good composer. He has some amazing ideas so far, so.
Oh, thanks, Brett.
Until he starts coming with some garbage, then we're gonna probably just keep rolling with that.
When these cameras are off, I'm making out with you.